By now, you've heard about what happened with former President Donald J. Trump at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. President Trump was speaking for less than 10 minutes, and there was an assassination attempt. He did get shot in the head, which thankfully it hit his ear on his head and did not go anywhere else. There's some reports saying that the round actually went through another object and then hit Trump. It's also saying that the round that hit Trump also hit someone else behind him as well. There is a lot to unpack. It's been less than 48 hours, so as you can imagine, there's still a lot of details being uncovered. But this is what we know. There were multiple authorities there establishing a perimeter, security perimeter. The Secret Service, local police, right? Resources were there. Resources were there. It also looked like there were some contractors there as well. But the resources were there. Now, why this was not secured, I have no idea. But less than 450 feet away from where President Trump was speaking, there was a warehouse kind of building, right? Metal roof, tin roof building. And this is where a 20-year-old Matthew Crooks climbed on top of this building with a rifle, an AR-styled rifle. Multiple people in the crowd saw Crooks climbing on this structure, right? Fingers were pointed. They were telling people, hey, there's a guy with a gun over here, right? Trying to get people's attention. Now, based on eyewitness accounts, and there's video of this, people are saying that they alerted authorities minutes before shots started ringing. Minutes beforehand. If you look at the counter sniper team, they have him locked in their sights. And the guy pulls his head from his glass, from his scope. After he does that, that's when Crooks starts cracking shots at Trump. And then, of course, the guy gets back in his scope, and then he engages and neutralizes the threat. Did he wait because he wasn't sure if they were with their team or not? Did he wait because he wanted to see if the guy was actually going to shoot? Is that their protocol, to wait before they engage? Did he wait because he was in on it? We don't know, right? We do not know. What did he just have a bad view through his sights and he was trying to get a better view, right? Was he too zoomed in, right? Whatever the case is. It's too early to assume that foul play was a thing, right? There are a lot of different creators that are saying for certain that this was staged, that or that foul play was involved. We don't know, right? There's still an investigation being conducted. What we do know is that a former United States Commander-in-Chief had an assassination attempt. Because of that, multiple people were wounded, and a retired fire chief was killed while shielding his family from the gunfire. Crooks himself was less than, again, 450 feet out. And it was a very small area, right? It's a very, very small area. I'm not sure why the other buildings were not secured. I'm not sure why. Maybe, was the tree line secured? We don't know. One thing we do know is this, especially if you are an American citizen. This is nothing to be celebrated, right? There are a disturbing amount of creators who are celebrating this, who are saying that, oh, we were so close, right? And we're seeing the political violence, right? We're seeing this bloodlust. You do not want violence. Anyone who is celebrating that, they are the problem. They are a problem for themselves. They are a problem for you, and they are a problem for people that you care about. I would highly recommend you separate yourselves from people who are celebrating this. I would also recommend you separate yourselves from people who are saying things like, we were so close, right? These people are the violent extremists. These are the people who have an insatiable bloodlust. These are the people that do not care about you. They just want violence. They do not care about you. This should be a moment of unity. It should be an example that regardless of what you believe, left, center, right, whatever, regardless of what you believe, that should not take away your humanity. That should not take away your life. And no one should have the right to do that. No one. We've been saying for years that you guys need to build community. You need to build mutual assistance groups. You need to build community with people that you align with spiritually. You need to carry a med kit. You need to be prepared for these types of situations. As tragic as they are, you need to be prepared for them, because evil does not wait until good people are ready. Matthew Crooks, who is the shooter, who was 20 years old. He worked at a nursing home as a dietary aide. So food prep, basically. From what I've been able to find, no tactical training whatsoever. Just some dude who was mentally deranged, obviously, who thought he had the right to take people's lives. And because he thought this, he took the life of a 50-year-old retired fire chief who had a family. So in Matthew Crooks' last moments of stupidity and bloodlust, he took away a leader, protector, and provider. 50-year-old Corey Comparator. 50-year-old Corey Comparator, a leader and protector and provider for his community. Retired fire chief. Dove on his family to protect them. He shielded his family. Residents, when asked about him, described him as a man of conviction. Remember that we do the things that we agree with. He went into burning buildings. He saved lives. He faced adversity. When people would run for safety, he would run for danger. He was the safety. They would run to him for help. In the wake of this, again, act of stupidity mixed with bloodlust, Corey made a decision. His decision was not to protect himself. His decision was not to hide. His decision was to cover his family, to be a shield for his wife and for his daughter. Those of you who are celebrating this assassination attempt, you celebrate the death of Corey Comparator. You celebrate his death because you celebrate violence and bloodlust. Let Corey be an example for you, where he faced adversity to save people. And in his last moments, again, he faced adversity to save people. Even his neighbor, who was a Biden supporter, made it very clear that even through their political differences, they were able to greet each other every morning. They were able to hold conversations. Your political party does not identify who you are. Your life should not revolve around a political party. And most certainly, you should not be trying to harm people because they disagree with you politically. As new updates are released, we will be providing information. But now is a time for you to build community. It is not a time for you to create division. It is not a time for you to take the violence that was perpetuated and increase that. Right now is a time for you to stop the violence, build community. Because rest assured, when you meet your creator face to face, he is not going to care about what political party you affiliated with. You need to live for your creator, not for yourself, and certainly not for a political party. The RNC is tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that. But as for us, we need to keep preparing. We need to have food. We need to have water. We need to have medical. We need to have mutual assistance groups. We need to have people. Our Creator gave us hands. Are you going to use those hands to create, or are you going to use those hands to destroy? Regardless of what you choose, I can promise you that you will be judged for what you do here. Corey, in his last moments, was an example. An example of what a man of conviction is. May we all follow that example and let what we do be done in love. God bless.